Welcome back. Launch.
Affirmative. Checking all systems. Repairs, fuel, weapons, check. Ignition. Engines online. Standing by for launch.
Affirmative. 30 meters. You have the
Fixed speed of
landing
Area is far behind you.
Retracting. Are you ready to jump?
Yes.
Boosting thrusters.
Night vision.
Affirmative.
Engaging Super Cruise.
Yo, I jumped through the stars. Let's go.
Scanning now.
Full spectrum system scanner.
Okay.
Exit. Engage FSD. Engage FSD.
Charging frameshift drive.
Scanning now.
Request dock. Request docking.
As requested.
Access is now granted. Proceed at your earliest convenience to pad 39. We have
East
engaged
India
all
Company.
docking protocols.
It's East India Trading Company. Play Galnet.
Playing entry.
Zeno Peace champion elected to Congress. Dalton Chase, the former governor of Andavanjal I, has become a federal congressman following victory in the recent special election. Despite his relative youth and inexperience, many voters within the congressional district were influenced by Chase's charm and positive campaign message. His enthusiasm for opening diplomatic relations with the Thargoids resonated with younger voters. The Liberal Party also ran a Creative P, a campaign across social channels, which was amplified by many countercultural ICE casters. After formally swearing in and taking his oath of office, Congressman Chase proclaimed, "I'm conscious that some view me as unorthodox or contrarian, perhaps even soft on Thargoids, but I take the security of the Federation as seriously as any of my honorable..." Landing successful. Commencing offload. We are glad to have you with us at this station, Commander. Colleagues, achieving peace with another
Repairs, fuel, weapons, check.
countless federal citizens would be considered celebrated the great moral victory of our generation. Congratulations were offered by Shadow President Felicia Winter,
Request
who referred
complete.
to Chase as a spirited addition to our ranks. Political analysts observed that she made no mention of his affiliation with the Zeno Peace movement. Although some in the Liberal Party have expressed sympathy with its intentions, the majority consider it too radical to ever be officially endorsed. Key members of the Thargoid Advocacy Project have thanked Congressman Chase for helping to establish the pro-peace megaship, Kingfisher. This is currently being outfitted with specialist technology designed to transmit signals of various types in the hope of being able to effect two-way communication with the Thargoids. Destination, Humanity. Pilots Federation alert. It has been confirmed that the mysterious anomalies known as rogue signal sources are all converging on the core systems. Professor Yaro Kenyatta, a noted academic in astronomy-related fields, has been collaborating with Professor Ishmael Palin and Ram Tar on analyzing the unexplained objects. He published a summary of their work in the scientific journal The Empirical. The first of these distant objects was detected on the 31st of August 3308, but several more have since been identified. It was quickly apparent that they were traveling through interstellar space at faster than light speed. Full Spectrum System, FSS, scanners were upgraded to allow more pilots to detect their electromagnetic emissions. Data on these phenomena has been analyzed by many respected organizations such as Canon Interstellar Research Group, Orion University and Universal Cartographics. Their consensus is that the rogue signal sources are all approaching the core system, home to the vast majority of the human population. As yet, we cannot determine when and where they will arrive with complete certainty, but it now seems unlikely that these are naturally occurring stellar bodies. It follows that 8 distinct anomalies converging upon our small region of the galaxy cannot be pure chance. Human space is their intended destination. What will happen when they arrive? Judging by their astonishing energy output, they may be devastating to inhabited systems. Each signal could be an energy projectile or a navigation beacon for some unknown force. More fanciful suggestions include celestial beings beyond our comprehension or interstellar technology we have never witnessed. Our intention is to narrow down the more probable options soon. Alternatively, if these are hyperspace distortions caused by non-human vessels, it's possible they may decelerate as they draw near. But one conclusion can be made. Whatever they are, they must know we are here. Azimuth to expand operational assets. Azimuth Biotech has announced a campaign in the One Drama system to expand its military and surface facility capacity. The controversial weapons developer has seen a recent downturn in fortunes due to fierce opposition by independent pilots protesting Azimuth's history of illicit research. The failure of Salvation to bring an end to the war has also soured public sentiment towards the corporation. Azimuth Biotech CEO Torben Raidmaker announced the initiative. After a period of reflection, it is time for Azimuth to once again step forward and assume a position of support for the brave pilots engaging Thargoid forces wherever they are encountered. To do this, we shall establish a new megaship equipped to operation in Thargoid-tainted systems. The tragic loss of the Bright Sentinel and Heart of Taurus in HIP 22460 must not hinder our ambition any further. We also intend to operate several surface outposts to aid our research projects. We aim to contribute to humanity's military options once again, being careful not to repeat the mistakes of our former figurehead. Pilots contributing to Azimuth's campaign, hosted at the Musashi Megaship in One Drama, will be granted an early permit and access to the company's range of anti-Zeno weaponry. Raidmaker has promised that a successful campaign will allow for the glorious prospect to offer them Booney permit from the T-Tauri system permanently. Within hours of the announcement, opponents of Azimuth Biotech had organized a counter-campaign to prevent deliveries from reaching One Drama. Combat between Azimuth security forces and anti-Azimuth activists has been reported in the system. It is believed efforts to derail the campaign are being directed from McLean City by One Drama Purple Council. In an effort to rally combat pilots to their respective causes, both factions are offering module rewards. Azimuth Biotech is offering its overcharged Guardian plasma charger, while One Drama Purple Council promises a rapid-fire multi-cannon with phasing sequence. Peace with the Thargoids. The rise of the Xeno-Peace movement has caused a number of public figures to discuss coexisting peacefully with the Thargoid race. With military options currently under discussion in the political capitals of all three superpowers, calls for diplomacy have sought to keep pace. Professor Seamus Madigan, head of Xenology at Olympus Village University, is one of several figures to have weighed in on the matter. The ancient records of the Guardians, as deciphered by Ramtar, describe how they learned enough of the Thargoids' language to make peaceful overtures. These were rejected in favor of total war. Though millions of years have passed, it seems improbable that the Thargoids will view humanity any differently, particularly since we actively deploy Guardian-based weaponry against them. Federal Governor Dalton Chase. Assuming the communications barrier can be broken, I see no reason why we cannot have non-violent relations with these obviously intelligent beings. The recently consigned pro-peace megaship will help demonstrate to the Thargoids that we are not a single-minded warlike race, but a fellow advanced civilization. Jaya Chowdhury, host of historical IC cast Ghastly Pasts. Human Thargoid diplomacy might have been possible when our two species first encountered each other. But since then we have made two attempts to eradicate them, first with the mycoid compound and then with the Proteus wave superweapon. Let's be honest, would we want to talk to an alien race that did that to us? Ambassador Jasmina Halsey, former president of the Federation. We have discovered a little about the Thargoids' history, behavior and technologies, but their thought processes and reasoning may be utterly different.
Affirmative. Stand
I
by.
have no idea if they even comprehend what diplomacy is, let alone whether
Checking
we can
all
find
systems.
common ground. But I do know that we must try, if only to prove to ourselves
Repairs,
that we can do
fuel,
better.
weapons. Check.
Council of Admirals divided
Initiating.
over unified fleet. The Alliance Defense Force has been unable to reach a consensus over the proposal to combine the superpowers' forces against the
Engines
Thargoids.
online.
Admirals Liam Flanagan, George Varma and Rachel
Standing
Ziegler
by
all
for
openly
launch.
support the concept of a unified fleet formed of allied, federal and imperial vessels. However, Admiral Nicholas Glass,
Affirmative. 30 meters.
Your ship is
You
released.
have to
Be
call.
careful to observe
Landing
restrictions when
orders.
leaving the
Retracting.
station.
the Silver and Tahir West have rejected this in favor of focusing on the Strategic Defense Pact with Sirius Corporation. Fleet Admiral Haley Sorokin, the highest-ranking officer in
Are
the
you ready
Alliance
to jump?
Defense Force, has yet to reveal her own view.
Okay.
When pressed by a journalist from the Old World Gazette.
Stay alert, Commander. Reports of heavy traffic in this area.
Jump.
She commented, a decision of such
Better
magnitude is
jump.
more political than military, and therefore
Engage
the province
FSD
of the
drive.
Assembly. There was a more forthright
Unable to
statement
comply.
from Admiral
Compute
Ziegler,
says no.
who previously commanded an allied anti-Xeno task force. This refusal to accept that we must come together to fight the
Engage
Thargoids is
FSD.
enormously disappointing.
Charging frameshift drive.
Counterparts in the
You have
federal
cleared the station
repeatedly
perimeter.
requested
Have a good trip, Commander.
and I firmly believe that we would soon convince the Empire to join us. We must not indefinitely rule out re-establishing Aegis or a similar anti-Xeno initiative. In related news, Deputy Prime Minister Angela Corcoran has proposed a bill to the Assembly approving the reformation of Aegis. However, this is not received report to be formally debated
Scanning
and will achieve
now.
little without similar acts in the Federal Congress or Imperial Senate. Empire dismisses calls for Aegis return. The Imperial Senate has debated contributing to anti-Xeno activities such as Aegis or a unified superpower fleet. Senator Caspian Leopold initiated the discussions among his colleagues, stating, "One would never criticize Her Majesty's priority to defend
Full
the Empire
spectrum
above
system
all
scanner.
else. Nevertheless,
Affirmative,
we face
Captain.
an adversary
Exit.
that has shown no sign of understanding humanity's many political, social or cultural distinctions. To them there is no empire. Our citizens are simply more humans for the Thargoids to destroy. If we were to share our research and resources with the reformed Aegis, might we not end the Second Thargoid War sooner? Imperial Admiral of the Fleet, Denton Patrios, responded, "Let me be clear. Aegis has been consigned to history. Likewise, the idea of unifying all three superpower fleets is a completely impractical fantasy. We can best serve the Empire by reinforcing the Imperial Navy and other military forces serving the Emperor. I assure you, Senators, that we are closely monitoring Thargoid activity and the threat is currently contained. The anomalous signals moving towards the core systems are being tracked. But should any Xenoforce encroach upon Imperial territory, we are more than ready. The issue was laid to rest Chancellor Anders Blaine. Esteemed colleagues, there is great honor in exploring how best to protect our people from the alien foe. But I must remind you, a decree from the Emperor cannot be overruled, not even by this august chamber. The Empire will abstain from collaborating with the Alliance, Federation, or any other foreign nation until Her Majesty wishes otherwise." Superpowers discuss unified anti-Xeno fleet. Ambassadors of all three superpowers have held emergency talks following the California Nebula attacks, with the United Military Fleet the primary topic. Political journalist Conrad Sterling provided this report for Vox Galactica. The public demand to address the evolving Thargoid threat has led to key military personnel suggesting that the Allied, Federal and Imperial naval fleets could work in concert for the duration of the war. This once inconceivable notion seems more plausible following the coalition in HIT 22460, despite the regrettable outcome of that operation. Sources have confirmed that Admiral Rachel Ziegler sought to contact Admiral Maxton Price directly to discuss ways in which the Alliance Defense Force and Federal Navy might collaborate. Others have openly supported the idea of a glorious Grand Armada to wipe out the alien hordes, as Vice Admiral Juno Rochester phrased it. However, there has been little in the way of political enthusiasm, with neither the Assembly nor Congress willing to debate the topic. Many leaders had their fingers burnt by aiding salvation, which could dissuade them from extending the hand of comradeship once again. And then there is the Empire, which lacks any interest in further collaboration with outside governments or organizations. While the Emperor pursues her new path of imperial isolationism, the Imperial navies might cannot be relied upon to protect Allied, Federal or independent systems from Thargoid attack. Nevertheless, the prospect of resurrecting the anti-Xeno agency Aegis continues to gain traction. Professor Teesro's recent symposium outlined plans for a new incarnation that would avoid the mistakes of the past. Even if we never see a grand human armada, the call for unity could manifest in a number of other ways. Thargoids raid Nebula Colony. The human enclave within the California Nebula has reported multiple attacks from Thargoid forces. Systems such as California Sector CQ-YC5 and HIP 18077 have experienced direct assaults by large numbers of Thargoid vessels. Megaships in the area have also been attacked and left in disrepair, with surviving crews activating distress signals. Harrison Gladstone, a spokesperson for Turner Research Group, which oversees Allied operations in the region, gave a statement to Vox Galactica. "We're accustomed to the Thargoid encounters in the California Nebula, but this time their aggression caught everyone by surprise. Research teams have been recalled from the region's barnacle sites. It's just become too dangerous to send our people out there." Colonization of the California Nebula took place in 3302 and focused primarily on harvesting meta-alloys from Thargoid barnacle sites. Although the enclave was initially established by the Alliance, the Kumo cruise expansion into the area last year brought tension. The Tau Ceti Journal reported that these latest attacks may directly impact the meta-alloy market. Some federal corporations, which directly purchase this material from the Alliance, have warned that fresh sources of meta-alloys could be required to prevent commercial instability. Xenopeace Project gathers support. Pilots Federation alert. Deliveries to the Andavangel system have enabled the Thargoid Advocacy Project to begin preparations for a diplomatic mission. Governor Dalton Chase, who is campaigning to become a member of the Federal Congress, arranged the initiative to create a non-partisan envoy vessel. Its objective will be to find ways to open communication with the Thargoids and make peaceful overtures to end the conflict. Polly French, organizer of a Thargoid advocacy project rally in Andevangel, told the media, "War with the Thargoids represents multiple failures. A failure to imagine coexistence with another intelligent species. A failure to restrain our violent reactions to the unknown. By sending emissaries and opening diplomatic channels, we can prove that human civilization is advanced enough to seek peace. I am grateful to Governor Chase for his generous funding and promotion of this project. Sincere thanks are also due to all the pilots who transported computer components, semiconductors and titanium, as well as those who fought hard to defend this operation. Personally, I'm very excited to see our new vessel for the first time. Deutsche Elite Pilo 10 Interstellar is now offering payment and combat bond reimbursement to all contributors from Blenkinsop Hub in the Andevangel system. The call for unity. News feeds across the core systems have reflected the increasing public demand for full-scale military cooperation against the Thargoids. Federal Free Press. Removing the Thargoid cult from federal space was a way of distracting the people from President Hudson's failures. The real threat remains the Thargoids themselves, and there is little chance of withstanding them without Allied and Imperial aid. Citizens Chronicle. With the greatest respect to Her Majesty, the Empire cannot pretend that it played no part in the disaster at HIP 22460. Surely we are strong enough to shoulder some of the burden in defeating this common enemy? Old World's Gazette. After the Aegis Symposium, Deputy Prime Minister Angela Corcoran supported reinstating the Tri-Superpower Agency, claiming, "The scale of the conflict deserves a stronger response than our pact with Sirius Corporation can provide." The Marlin Standard. The proximity of the Thargoids to our democratic republic has always been a major concern. Parliament has agreed that any collaborative anti-Xeno initiative would be of great interest. Soul Today. We all know that you can't trust the Imps or the Alliance, but at least they're not vicious genocidal monstrosities. And as General Falkenrath famously said, "The enemy of my enemy is my disposable infantry." The Sovereign. The Xeno peace movement, as espoused by our very own Heva Borichev, is laudable. But many independent systems are demanding a less diplomatic strategy. Vox Galactica. The demands for a solution to the Thargoids are becoming more strident. According to unofficial reports, some low-level civil and military leaders have begun talking across the political divides, despite the lack of direction from their superiors. There is clearly a growing appetite for solidarity, whether through Aegis or some other means. Hadrian Duval endorses imperial isolation. The Empire's withdrawal from all cross-superpower operations has gained the full support of Hadrian Augustus Duval. Political journalist Cassia Carvalho reviewed the situation for the Imperial Herald. As the illegitimate grandson of Emperor Hengist, Hadrian Duval has long been considered the black sheep of the imperial family. Only a few years ago, he sought to replace Emperor Arisa Lavany Duval on the throne, but he has since been pardoned and accepted as a genuine Duval, albeit with no royal title or position. Now, for the first time, Hadrian openly approves of the Emperor's decisions. As he told Parisa News Network, walking away from the Alliance and Federation is the right path for the Empire to take. The Imperial Navy deserves to be our priority, to reinforce our strength and better defend us against our enemies. Senator Zemina Torval dismissed this as a hypocritical volte-face, but in truth, Hadrian has always championed isolationism and traditional imperial values. He seems as surprised as anyone to find that Emperor Arisa now shares some of his political ideologies. Ironically, it is now Princess Aisling Duval who has emerged as the voice of rebellion against imperial policy. Others in the Senate have suggested that Hadrian Duval might serve the Empire in a more official capacity or be bestowed a title and accepted into the nobility. The Emperor may find that the young man who was once her greatest threat could be transformed into a loyal ally. Talk show murder broadcast. Channel 07 has intercepted footage of a violent attack on 3 talk show hosts, broadcast live on several Imperial news feeds. The show came to an abrupt halt after the 3 were apparently fired upon by an assailant who gained access to the enclosed set. The perpetrator managed to flee the building before security could intervene. Details on the status of the victims have not been provided, but first responders to the scene found a digital calling card pinned to the host's dressing room door. Police have authorized the publication of the card's contents, which consists of a single word, TFZIRQRL. The word is thought to be encoded by a text cipher. It is hoped that by sharing the text, members of the public will be able to identify the perpetrator's next move. Materials required for Xeno Peace Convoy. Pilots Federation alert. Federal Governor Dalton Chase requests deliveries to the Andevangel system to establish a Xeno Peace envoy vessel. The initiative spearheaded by Chase, a member of the Liberal Party who is currently campaigning for a congressional seat, intends to provide a megaship for use in Thargoid Advocacy Project operations. He announced, "The Federation's leaders have sworn to protect its people, yet our aggressive interactions with the Thargoids have placed entire systems in great danger. Order of the Thargoid cultists shouldn't be the image we conjure when suggesting non-military options. It's time to prove that we possess the capacity for peaceful relations with other species. The convoy established on behalf of the Thargoid Advocacy Project is a non-partisan diplomatic mission representing humanity's call for a ceasefire. Its purpose is to find ways to communicate with the Thargoids and make peaceful overtures. Imagine it. Diplomatic channels between different races. Peace in our time. Lend us your support to lay this foundation for a more harmonious future." Other notable figures in the Xeno Peace movement have endorsed Governor Chase's congressional campaign. Leading Icecaster Joy Senna has referred to him as our ambassador of hope. Hamer Borichev revealed that Chase intends to lobby Shadow President Winters to incorporate Thargoid diplomacy into Liberal Party policies. Deutsche Elite Piloten Interstellar has agreed to host the Pro-Peace Megaship Initiative and will organize payment for shipments of computer components, semiconductors and titanium to Blenkinsop Hub in the Andevangel system. To protect deliveries, Deutsche Elite Piloten Interstellar will also reimburse combat vouchers for all wanted ships. Federation bans the Thargoid cult. President Hudson has approved a congressional bill to make the order of the Thargoid illegal within all federal systems. Congress voted to accept the resolution by a narrow majority, as announced by Secretary of State Lana Berkovich. The Thargoids are categorized as an enemy of the state, and the Federal Accord forbids any citizen from providing aid to such enemies. The likelihood of radicalized Thargoid worshippers disrupting our anti-Xeno operations in the name of their deity deserves a proactive response. Therefore, by act of Congress, membership of this religious order is now a crime punishable by up to 10 years imprisonment. The organization is barred from operating anywhere in federal space. All detained Thargoid adherents are being interrogated for information related to espionage, with many already transported to stand trial in their home systems. Congress has clarified that the resolution specifically targets organizations which actively support the military objectives of non-humans. It does not apply to civil groups promoting interspecies communication or diplomacy, such as the Thargoid Advocacy Project. The Galactic Interfaith Commune and similar agencies have protested against the new law. Shadow President Felicia Winters shared their disapproval, claiming that such intolerance does not reflect the Federation's core values. Some congressmen have also voiced fears of the potential impact on voters who follow other fringe religions. With the Thargoid cult now illegal in both the Empire and the Federation, its hive chapels can only be found in allied and independent systems with local laws permitting religious liberty. The true chapter sects' remaining adherents are concentrated aboard the Perdition and Testament megaships, the locations of which are unknown. Emperor celebrates imperial strength. Emperor Arisa Lavany Duval has expressed satisfaction with the Empire's military and scientific progress since the Battle of HIP 22460. She delivered the public address following a recent tour of a Guatemala shipyard. The Imperial Navy is entering a period of revitalization, with advances being made in multiple areas. We have been freed from the burden of external mismanagement, which hindered our military potential and diluted our naval strength. The Senate has worked tirelessly to generate funding and opportunities for this renewed focus. New ships and crews have replaced recent losses, making our naval fleets more powerful than ever. And many loyal corporations have replaced inferior imports from foreign worlds with the high-quality workmanship of imperial artisans. Alongside increased military and commercial might, the Imperial Science Academy leads the way on xenological research to uncover the secrets of our Thargoid foe. We have seen the disastrous nature of Proteus wave technology, but using alternative methods to develop our own anti-xeno options remains a priority. Imperial systems are better protected against our enemies than they have been in a generation. Never has the future looked so assured. Our glorious history, stretching over 1,000 years, teaches us a truth that we must now relearn. The Empire stands stronger alone. Congressional candidate endorses Xeno Peace Movement. Dalton Chase, the federal governor of Andevangel 1, is campaigning to become a member of Congress with support from the Thargoid Advocacy Project. A profile of Governor Chase was published in the Federal Times by political journalist Sophia Trevino. Despite only being in his mid-30s with a short political career, Dalton Chase has made a habit of beating the odds. He achieved a very strong following within his home system of Andevangel, eclipsing more experienced rivals to become a planetary governor. This is largely due to his willingness to reach beyond the mainstream. Many politicians claim the kind of exuberance and natural charisma that Chase possesses, but few would risk talking about the Thargoids using pointed phrases such as communication, not extermination. Younger voters are drawn to his boldness, as are the ICE casters who routinely invite him onto their platforms. Following the unfortunate incident that recently befell Congressman Theodore Parches, a rare vacancy has opened within the Federation's grandest political body. Governor Chase should be the least likely candidate, except for the fact that he has become something of a poster boy for the Xeno Peace movement. A key pledge of Chase's electoral campaign is to pursue ways of opening human Thargoid diplomatic channels. The Thargoid Advocacy Project is promoting Chase as the best chance to get Congress to take their ideas seriously. This in turn has fueled a media backlash from some quarters, with Sol today claiming he would eyes on the alien lover vote. We will soon learn if Dalton Chase's popularity among the demographic is enough to see him elected to high office. Thargoids repulsed by Operation Tindarius. Pilots Federation alert. Allied forces have successfully defended the Andy-Cavi system from Thargoid vessels. The defense operation was centered around the megaship Kumaho Sky, which hosted the Alliance and Sirius Corporation's joint anti-Xeno task force. A declaration of victory was made by Admiral Nicholas Glass. Operation Tindarius is officially a triumph. Alliance Defense Force and Sirius Navy crews have fought side by side to protect the people of Andy-Cavi from the Thargoids. The aliens withdrew from the system en masse, following several days of hard fighting. The task force was ably supported by many freelance pilots and AX squadrons, who can now claim their rewards from the Kumaho Sky. These include unique pre-engineered heatsink modules for qualifying Xeno hunters. In addition, the modules will shortly be commercially available via official Sirius Corporation technology brokers. Prime Minister Edmund Marr expressed gratitude to all those who took part, remarking that the long delays in making the Strategic Defense Pact a reality have finally proved to be worthwhile. In response, Councillor Nakato Kane highlighted reports from witnesses that many Thargoid vessels withdrew to hyperspace before human forces overwhelmed them. She added, "Would the result in Andy-Cavi have been indifferent without Sirius Corporation's involvement? We have seen the Thargoids retreat while several conflicts were still evenly matched, just as in several other systems recently. Did this military pact deliver anything that the ADF could not have achieved alone?" Xeno Peace champion elected to Congress. Dalton Chase, the former governor of Andevangel 1, has become a federal congressman following victory in the recent special election. Despite his relative youth and inexperience, many voters within the congressional district were influenced by Chase's charm and positive campaign message. His enthusiasm for opening diplomatic relations with the Thargoids resonated with younger voters. The Liberal Party also ran a creative PR campaign across social channels, which was amplified by many countercultural ICE casters. After formally swearing in and taking his oath of office, Congressman Chase proclaimed, "I'm conscious that some view me as unorthodox or contrarian, perhaps even soft on Thargoids. But I take the security of the Federation as seriously as any of my honorable colleagues. Achieving peace with another species, and thereby saving the lives of countless federal citizens, would be considered the great moral victory of our generation." Congratulations were offered by Shadow President Felicia Winters, who referred to Chase as a spirited addition to our ranks. Political analysts observed that she made no mention of his affiliation with the Xeno Peace movement. Although some in the Liberal Party have expressed sympathy with its intentions, the majority consider it too radical to ever be officially endorsed. Key members of the Thargoid Advocacy Project have thanked Congressman Chase for helping to establish the pro-peace megaship, Kingfisher. This is currently being outfitted with specialist technology designed to transmit signals of various types in the hope of being able to effect two-way communication with the Thargoids. Destination: Humanity. Pilots Federation alert. It has been confirmed that the mysterious anomalies known as rogue signal sources are all converging on the core systems. Professor Yaro Kenyatta, a noted academic in astronomy-related fields, has been collaborating with Professor Ishmael Palin and Ram Tar on analyzing the unexplained objects. He published a summary of their work in the scientific journal The Empirical. The first of these distant objects was detected on the 31st of August 3308, but several more have since been identified. It was quickly apparent that they were traveling through interstellar space at faster than light speed. Full Spectrum System, FSS, scanners were upgraded to allow more pilots to detect their electromagnetic emissions. Data on these phenomena has been analyzed by many respected organizations such as Canon Interstellar Research Group, Orion University, and Universal Cartographics. Their consensus is that the rogue signal sources are all approaching the core systems, home to the vast majority of the human population. As yet, we cannot determine when and where they will arrive with complete certainty, but it now seems unlikely that these are naturally occurring stellar bodies. It follows that 8 distinct anomalies converging upon our small region of the galaxy cannot be pure chance. Human space is their intended destination. What will happen when they arrive? Judging by their astonishing energy output, they may be devastating to inhabited systems. Each signal could be an energy projectile or a navigation beacon for some unknown force. More fanciful suggestions include celestial beings beyond our comprehension or interstellar technology we have never witnessed. Our intention is to narrow down the more probable options soon. Alternatively, if these are hyperspace distortions caused by non-human vessels, it's possible they may decelerate as they draw near. But one conclusion can be made. Whatever they are, they must know we are here. Azimuth to expand operational assets. Azimuth Biotech has announced a campaign in the One Drama system to expand its military and surface facility capacity. The controversial weapons developer has seen a recent downturn in fortunes due to fierce opposition by independent pilots protesting Azimuth's history of illicit research. The failure of Salvation to bring an end to the war has also soured public sentiment towards the corporation. Azimuth Biotech CEO Torben Raidmaker announced the initiative. After a period of reflection, it is time for Azimuth to once again step forward and assume a position of support for the brave pilots engaging Thargoid forces wherever they are encountered. To do this, we shall establish a new megaship equipped to operation in Thargoid-tainted systems. The tragic loss of the Bright Sentinel and Heart of Taurus in HIP 22460 must not hinder our ambition any further. We also intend to operate several surface outposts to aid our research projects. We aim to contribute to humanity's military options once again. being careful not to repeat the mistakes of our former figurehead. Pilots contributing to Azimuth's campaign, posted at the Musashi megaship in One Drama, will be granted the Mooney permit and access to the company's range of anti-Xeno weaponry. Raidmaker has promised that a successful campaign will allow for the glorious prospect to offer the Mooney permit from the T-Tauri system permanently. Within hours of the announcement, opponents of Azimuth Biotech had organized a counter-campaign to prevent deliveries from reaching One Drama. Combat between Azimuth security forces and anti-Azimuth activists has been reported in the system. It is believed efforts to derail the campaign are being directed from McLean City by One Drama Purple Council. In an effort to rally combat pilots to their respective causes, both factions are offering module rewards. Azimuth Biotech is offering its overcharged Guardian Plasma Charger, while One Drama Purple Council promises a rapid-fire multi-cannon with fading sequence. Peace with the Thargoids. The rise of the Xeno Peace movement has caused a number of public figures to discuss coexisting peacefully with the Thargoid race. With military options currently under discussion in the political capitals of all three superpowers, calls for diplomacy have sought to keep pace. Professor Seamus Madigan, head of Xenology at Olympus Village University, is one of several figures to have weighed in on the matter. The ancient records of the Guardians, as deciphered by Ram-Tar, describe how they learned enough of the Thargoids' language to make peaceful overtures. These were rejected in favor of total war. Though millions of years have passed, it seems improbable that the Thargoids will view humanity any differently, particularly since we actively deploy Guardian-based weaponry against them. Federal Governor Dalton Chase, assuming the communications barrier can be broken, I see no reason why we cannot have non-violent relations with these obviously intelligent beings. The recently consigned pro-peace megaship will help demonstrate to the Thargoids that we are not a single-minded warlike race, but a fellow advanced civilization. Jaya Chowdhury, host of historical ICE-cast Ghastly Pasts. Human Thargoid diplomacy might have been possible when our two species first encountered each other. But since then we have made two attempts to eradicate them, first with the mycoid compound and then with the Proteus Wave superweapon. Let's be honest, would we want to talk to an alien race that did that to us? Ambassador Jasmine Haldi, former president of the Federation. We have discovered a little about the Thargoids' history, behavior and technologies, but their thought processes and reasoning may be utterly different to our own. I have no idea if they even comprehend what diplomacy is, let alone whether we could find common ground. But I do know that we must try, if only to prove to ourselves that we can do better. Council of Admirals divided over unified fleet. The Alliance Defense Force has been unable to reach a consensus over the proposal to combine the superpowers' forces against the Thargoids. Admirals Liam Flanagan, George Varma and Rachel Ziegler all openly support the concept of a unified fleet formed of allied, federal and imperial vessels. However, Admirals Nicholas Glass, Murray Stella Silva and Tahir West have rejected this in favor of focusing on the Strategic Defense Pact with Sirius Corporation. Fleet Admiral Haley Sorokin, the highest-ranking officer in the Alliance Defense Force, has yet to reveal her own view. When pressed by a journalist from the Old World's Gazette, she commented, "A decision of such magnitude is more political than military, and therefore the province of the Assembly." There was a more forthright statement from Admiral Ziegler, who previously commanded an allied anti-Xeno task force. This refusal to accept that we must come together to fight the Thargoids is enormously disappointing. Many of our counterparts in the Federal Navy are keen to increase links between militaries, and I firmly believe that we would soon convince the Empire to join us. We must not indefinitely rule out re-establishing Aegis or a similar anti-Xeno initiative. In related news, Deputy Prime Minister Angela Corcoran has proposed a bill to the Assembly approving the reformation of Aegis. However, this has not received enough support to be formally debated and would achieve little without similar acts in the Federal Congress or Imperial Senate. Empire dismisses calls for Aegis return. The Imperial Senate has debated contributing to anti-Xeno activities such as Aegis or a unified superpower fleet. Senator Caspian historian Leopold initiated the discussions among his colleagues, stating, "One would never criticize Her Majesty's priority to defend the empire above all else. Nevertheless, we face an adversary that has shown no sign of understanding humanity's many political, social or cultural distinctions. To them there is no empire. Our citizens are simply more humans for the Thargoids to destroy. If we were to share our research and resources with the reformed Aegis, might we not end the Second Thargoid War sooner?" Imperial Admiral of the Fleet, Denton Patrias, responded, "Let me be clear. Aegis has been consigned to history. Likewise, the idea of unifying all three superpower fleets is a completely impractical fantasy. We can best serve the Empire by reinforcing the Imperial Navy and other military forces serving the Emperor. I assure you, Senators, that we are closely monitoring Thargoid activity and the threat is currently contained. The anomalous signals moving towards the core systems are being tracked. But should any Xenoforce encroach upon Imperial territory, we are more than ready. The issue was laid to rest Chancellor Anders Blaine. Esteemed colleagues, there is great honor in exploring how best to protect our people from the alien foe. But I must remind you, a decree from the Emperor cannot be overruled, not even by this August chamber. The Empire will abstain from collaborating with the Alliance, Federation or any other foreign nation until Her Majesty wishes otherwise. Superpowers discuss unified anti-Xeno fleet. Ambassadors of all three superpowers have held emergency talks following the California Nebula attacks, with the United Military Fleet the primary topic. Political journalist Conrad Sterling provided this report for Vox Galactica. The public demand to address the evolving Thargoid threat has led to key military personnel suggesting that the Allied, Federal and Imperial naval fleets could work in concert for the duration of the war. This once inconceivable notion seems more plausible following the coalition in HIP 22460, despite the regrettable outcome of that operation. Sources have confirmed that Admiral Rachel Ziegler sought to contact Admiral Maxton Price directly to discuss ways in which the Alliance Defense Force and Federal Navy might collaborate. Others have openly supported the idea of a glorious Grand Armada to wipe out the alien hordes, as Vice Admiral Juno Rochester phrased it. However, there has been little in the way of political enthusiasm, with neither the Assembly nor Congress willing to debate the topic. Many leaders had their fingers burnt by aiding Salvation, which could dissuade them from extending the hand of comradeship once again. And then there is the Empire, which lacks any interest in further collaboration with outside governments or organizations. While the Emperor pursues her new path of imperial isolationism, the Imperial navies cannot be relied upon to protect Allied, Federal or independent systems from Thargoid attack. Nevertheless, the prospect of resurrecting the anti-Xeno agency Aegis continues to gain traction. Professor Teesro's recent symposium outlined plans for a new incarnation that would avoid the mistakes of the past. Even if we never see a grand human armada, the call for unity could manifest in a number of other ways. Thargoids raid Nebula Colony. The human enclave within the California Nebula has reported multiple attacks from Thargoid forces. Systems such as California Sector CQ-YC5 and HIP 18077 have experienced direct assaults by large numbers of Thargoid vessels. Megaships in the area have also been attacked and left in disrepair, with surviving crews activating distress signals. Harrison Gladstone, a spokesperson to Turner Research Group, which oversees Allied operations in the region, gave a statement to Vox Galactica. "We're accustomed to the Thargoid encounters in the California Nebula, but this time their aggression caught everyone by surprise. Research teams have been recalled from the region's barnacle sites. It's just become too dangerous to send our people out there." Colonization of the California Nebula took place in 3302 and focused primarily on harvesting meta-alloys from Thargoid barnacle sites. Although the enclave was initially established by the Alliance, the Kumo cruise expansion into the area last year brought tension. The Tau Ceti Journal reported that these latest attacks may directly impact the meta-alloy market. Some federal corporations, which directly purchase this material from the Alliance, have warned that fresh sources of meta-alloys could be required to prevent commercial instability. Xenopeace project gathers support. Pilots Federation alert. Deliveries to the Andavangel system have enabled the Thargoid Advocacy Project to begin preparations for a diplomatic mission. Governor Dalton Chase, who is campaigning to become a member of the Federal Congress, arranged the initiative to create a non-partisan envoy vessel. Its objective will be to find ways to open communication with the Thargoids and make peaceful overtures to end the conflict. Polly French, organizer of a Thargoid Advocacy Project rally in Andavangel, told the media, "War with the Thargoids represents multiple failures. A failure to imagine coexistence with another intelligent species. A failure to restrain our violent reactions to the unknown. By sending emissaries and opening diplomatic channels, we can prove that human civilization is advanced enough to seek peace. I am grateful to Governor Chase for his generous funding and promotion of this project. Sincere thanks are also due to all the pilots who transported computer components, semiconductors and titanium, as well as those who fought hard to defend this operation. Personally, I'm very excited to see our new vessel for the first time. Deutsche Elite Pilo 10 Interstellar is now offering payment and combat bond reimbursement to all contributors from Blenkinsop Hub in the Andavangel system. The call for unity. News feeds across the core systems have reflected the increasing public demand for full-scale military cooperation against the Thargoids. Federal Free Press. Removing the Thargoid cult from federal space was a way of distracting the people from President Hudson's failures. The real threat remains the Thargoids themselves, and there is little chance of withstanding them without allied and imperial aid. Citizens Chronicle. With the greatest respect to Her Majesty, the Empire cannot pretend that it played no part in the disaster at HIT 22460. Surely we are strong enough to shoulder some of the burden in defeating this common enemy? Old World's Gazette. After the Aegis Symposium, Deputy Prime Minister Angela Corcoran supported reinstating the Tri-Superpower Agency, claiming, "The scale of the conflict deserves a stronger response than our pact with serious corporation can provide." The Marlin Standard. The proximity of the Thargoids to our democratic republic has always been a major concern. Parliament has agreed that any collaborative anti-Xeno initiative would be of great interest. Soul Today. We all know that you can't trust the imps or the Alliance, but at least they're not vicious genocidal monstrosities. And as General Falkenrod famously said, "The enemy of my enemy is my disposable infantry." The Sovereign. The Xenopeace movement, as espoused by our very own Halo Borichev, is laudable. But many independent systems are demanding a less diplomatic strategy. Vox Galactica. The demands for a solution to the Thargoids are becoming more strident. According to unofficial reports, some low-level civil and military leaders have begun talking across the political divides, despite the lack of direction from their superiors. There is clearly a growing appetite for solidarity, whether through Aegis or some other means. Hadrian Duval endorses imperial isolation. The Empire's withdrawal from all cross-superpower operations has gained the full support of Hadrian Augustus Duval. Political journalist Cassia Carvalho reviewed the situation for the Imperial Herald. As the illegitimate grandson of Emperor Hengist, Hadrian Duval has long been considered the black sheep of the imperial family. Only a few years ago, he sought to replace Emperor Arisalamani Duval on the throne. But he has since been pardoned and accepted as a genuine Duval, albeit with no royal title or position. Now, for the first time, Hadrian openly approves of the Emperor's decisions. As he told Parisa News Network, "Walking away from the Alliance and Federation is the right path for the Empire to take. The Imperial Navy deserves to be our priority, to reinforce our strength and better defend us against our enemies." Senator Zemina Torval dismissed this as a hypocritical volte-face, but in truth, Hadrian has always championed isolationism and traditional imperial values. He seems as surprised.